Thanks. Well, there are new details tonight in the welfare fraud trial of former pro wrestler Ted DiBiase Jr. Intimate text messages shared in court from DiBiase, his brother, and the former director of human services are now all part of the evidence.
Money, I come from class. They love the story, they love the past. Won't let a courtroom spoil my dream, 'cause I got money and I can do anything.
The trial was already tense as it is this week. Arguments over credibility, fights over evidence, a defense challenging the investigation itself. But then, just then, when you thought it was all said and done, the courtroom heard something no one expected. Private messages, personal messages, text that the prosecutor said, revealing a much deeper story, a relationship far deeper than business. And suddenly, this trial stopped being just about money. It became about loyalty, friendship, and now close was too close. So let's take a look.
Former director of human services are now all part of the evidence. 16 WAPT's Ross Adams has the latest from the federal courthouse.
It doesn't appear that prosecutors were out to embarrass John Davis. Those text messages show he had a very personal, almost romantic-like relationship with the DiBiase brothers. The question is, why? And
why it is.
One 2018 text message from Brett to Davis. Brett says, "I don't know where I stand with you. Every time I think of you, I want to be with you." Davis responded, "I love you, I love you, I love you."
What? That is weird. Let's go back to this. So from Brett DiBiase. So if anyone is not aware, Brett DiBiase is Ted DiBiase's brother, who was also named as part of this trial case, but he pleaded guilty. Ted DiBiase, the brother we are been talking about this whole time, said he's not guilty. So apparently between 2018, Brett DiBiase and Davis had a few interesting messages. So he said, "I don't know where I stand with you. Every time I think of you, I want to be with you. I love you, I love you, I love you." I mean, if they go that route, that's fine. But what does this have to do with the case besides the fact that now this is more emotional and personal? And maybe they get, because they're emotionally together like that, or have an emotional bond like that, people can get away with things.
Love you, I love you. Another Brett text to Davis reads, "It's only when I'm with you I feel safe enough to sleep."
Wow, okay.
Davis told the jury he got very close to Brett. In a July 28 message, Davis told Teddy Jr., "I will freaking die for you." Teddy responded, "It would be my honor to die for you, bro."
Okay, so they're just bros. Okay, bro exchange. Okay. Wait, this is from Teddy too. Davis told Teddy, "I will freaking die." Boy.
Because of his special bond with the DiBiases, Davis admitted he pressured New School Summit founder Nancy New and Family Resource Center director Christy Webb to give DiBiase a $497,000.
And there you go. You get a tight relationship with the head of this whole department. You get advantages, and that person pushes these other smaller people below them to give them what they want. You got to
give me what I want. A contract and a $500,000 contract from News nonprofit, even as DiBiase showed no receipts or any documents on how the money was spent. Davis told the jury he kept pushing to make sure DiBiase got more contracts. Prosecutors say DiBiase used some $2.9 million in what they call sham contracts to buy a new car, a new boat, and purchase a new house in the city of Madison. Reporting from the federal courthouse in downtown, Ross Adams, 16 WAPT News.
All right. So let's
documents, even as DiBiase.
Let's rewind. Can I get a nice
showed no
video of this? There we go. The trial of former WWE star Ted DiBiase Jr. had already seen major twists. A month-long delay, a new lead defense attorney, Eric Hirschman, who you see on the screen right there, stepping into the spotlight, explosive courtroom allegation questioning parts of the broader investigation with the audits, and through all of it, one man remained at the center of everything in this match, John Davis, the former Mississippi welfare director, already convicted, already sentenced allegedly, now cooperating with prosecutors in hopes of helping build their case. And when court resumed again this week, Davis returned to the stand. But this time, the story got a little personal, very personal. So this all happened on Wednesday. Prosecutors changed the tone completely. Instead of focusing only on the contracts, they focus on relationships again. I think they did in previous days of trial. They questioned Davis about his dealings with Ted DiBiase Jr. and his brother Brett DiBiase. And Davis admitted something that immediately caught attention. Even when DiBiase hadn't fulfilled previous contract obligations, Davis kept pushing for more contracts, meaning more opportunities, more promises, and he testified that he pressured nonprofit leader Nancy New and Christy Webb to continue giving DiBiase deals, despite work not being completed. The implication from prosecutors was very clear. This wasn't just business, something else was driving these decisions made. Then came the moment that changed the mood in the courtroom. Prosecutors presented private text messages between Davis, Ted DiBiase Jr., and Davis and Brett DiBiase. The jury heard words that felt less like professional conversations and more like deeply personal exchanges. One message from Brett DiBiase read, "It's only when I'm with you I feel safe enough to sleep." And another message ended with, "Every time I think of you, I want to be with you." And Davis responded, as you heard, with, "I love you, I love you, I love you." And then came the message prosecutors clearly wanted the jury to remember. Davis telling Ted DiBiase, "I will freaking D for you." Ted responded, it will be my honor to D for you too, bro." The courtroom went quiet because suddenly the question changed. Was this just friendship, or something that influenced how millions of dollars were distributed? Prosecutors weren't introducing these texts for shock value. Their goal was psychological, to show that Davis' relationship with the DiBiase brothers was unlike anything he had with other people involved in welfare programs. Davis himself admitted if he told jurors his bond with them was unique, and prosecutors wanted the jury to connect that emotional closeness with the financial decisions at the heart of this case. Because if decisions weren't strictly professional, then the defense argument about normal contracts start to look weaker. But here's where the defense has room to fight back. Relationships don't automatically mean crimes. Friendships doesn't equal conspiracy. And Hirschman's strategy has already been clear. Portray these actions as part of an environment where everyone believes they were doing good. The defense argues the contracts were legitimate. The prosecution argues the relationship explains why the rules were ignored. Two completely different interpretations of the same message here. Remember, John Davis already pleaded guilty. He's serving a 32-year sentence and cooperating as part of a plea agreement, which means every word he says now carries two possible interpretations. Is he telling the truth to help prosecutors, or shaping the story to protect himself? And now the jury has to weigh out not just documents and contracts, but the emotions involved in this court case. Friendships, loyalty, and whether these things change how public money was handled. The trial keeps shifting. First, it was about money, then credibility, now relationships. Private words once meant for phones and late night conversations are now evidence inside a federal courtroom. And the biggest question hanging in the air, did loyalty blur the lines between friendship and federal crime? Let me know in the comments what you think. Were the decisions made by Davis purely out of emotional wants, or did he do what he thought was correct because he thought he was doing good for everyone? Let me know in the comments. And